talk about the homies at Manscaped. You know why? Because sometimes it gets hot and sometimes you start sweating. But when you're Manscaped and you keep it high and tight or low into the flow, you feel groovy, baby, because the air flows and you are super aerodynamic. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, why aren't y'all rocking with Manscaped just yet, huh? I mean, the Lawnmower 4.0, we said it's a bad mama jamma. Come on, man. How you think it would keep it nice and neat like that? You think that stash is able to be stashy? Huh? Without a little Manscapey? Without the little Lawnmower 4.0? You need the Lawnmower 4.0. But more importantly, you need that performance package as well. Because it's got that crop reviver. You got to revive it. And don't forget about that refresher, Deke, because you got to keep it refreshed as well, man. But at the end of the day, the Lawnmower 4.0 is the only thing that you need to be worried about right now. And when you do go to purchase it, because I know they're going to go purchase it, Deke. I
would like to think.
I would hope so, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we recommend it.
We recommend it, and I think that the people that follow us, listen to us, take our recommendation seriously.
I would have to second that. I would definitely have to second that. So with that
being said, they do at least on our football takes.
This is very true. So with that being said, make sure you use that promo code. The promo code is MOATS. You get 20% off your purchase along with free shipping. So don't allow your delicate twins to be feeling neglected out here or feeling overly heated because you haven't kept them groomed and looking photo fresh. Take care of them and they will always take care of you. Shout out to Manscaped. 1-0 Raiders, 1-0 Steelers. 15-year head coach John Gruden versus Mike Tomlin. But let's start off by focusing on Vegas, right? In particular, I want to talk about 3 things that we think they do well. And then we'll come back and talk about 3 things that we think they struggle with. All right. And y'all in the chat, man, y'all can definitely drop that as well, man.
You want me to ask it?
Yeah. 3 things that we think the Raiders do well offensively, or not even offensively, just in general as a team. 3 things you think the Raiders do well. Make sure we put that in the chat and we'll start discussing our 3 things.
All right. It's in the chat.
That's why you the man, bro.
How do you want to do it? You want to list off all 3? Go one at a time?
You know what? We'll go one at a time.
Because maybe we have the same answer.
Do your 3, I'll do my 3, and then we'll just talk it out.
Okay.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay, works for me.
Even though I'm about to go back and forth.
I have interesting answers. I might be like stretching them out a little bit, but anyway. Mm-hmm. So my initial thing was Derek Carr.
Okay.
Above average quarterback, but like in tandem with Derek Carr, is their passing attack / connection with Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow. So like those 3 in tandem, having Derek Carr, a pretty solid quarterback with those 2, that connection, I find that as a positive for the Raiders.
Okay.
Number 2, Max Crosby. That one's just pretty simple to me. I would say their pass rush, but Ngakoue is hurt. I don't think he's going to be playing this game. I think he's going to be out for an extended period of time.
I think so as well when I saw that. Yep.
And then number 3, I mean, based off game 1, I don't really recall what their stats were last year, but they forced some turnovers.
Okay.
Now, if you want to say that's the Ravens' fault or if it's the Raiders' fault, they got some turnovers. That's another positive I could say about them.
You still got to recover it, right? And they did recover those turnovers.
This could be an honorable mention. I don't know if I want to toss this. I can't really toss this in with the forced turnovers, but I'll just say they have a decent secondary.
Okay, I like that. No, see?
So those are my 3/4 honorable mention, but those are the positive things that I would say about the Raiders.
Wow, that was clean right there. That was clean. So for me, man, the 3 positives that I have for the Raiders, I said Darren Waller and their focus on him. You know how we talk about Chase Claypool and we say, man, at times we wonder why we don't use him more. Why isn't he more of a focal point? Or with Najee or with Pat.
Yeah.
Darren got 19 targets. 19. That is big time focus, knowing who to run your offense through, not second guessing it, not trying to get cute. So to me, I thought that was the first thing that stood out because obviously he's a matchup nightmare just based on his athletic ability and stuff like that. The second thing I had to change because of kind of like you said, man, with Yannick going down, I just put up there Max Crosby as well because part of me understands that was largely aided by Al. I'm not going to lie. Okay, Max is a good player. Yes, we are not saying he's not a good player.
He'll probably have double-digit sacks.
True, but the way he looked on Monday night, I haven't seen Max.
You saw some of the comments that just came in.
Yeah.
How are we gonna stop him?
Yeah, bro. I've never looked and seen Max looking like that. Max looked like TJ Watt. Looked like Aaron Donald, like Chandler Jones. I was like, yo, I don't know where you've been training this offseason, but if that's what it looks like all of a sudden, like, whoa. So I'm a little hesitant with that, but we're gonna put it because he has a good matchup this week.
Oh yeah, against us, yeah.
And especially
we can talk shit on Al.
Yeah.
We can talk shit on Al, but we saw our offensive line look for a good portion of the game.
Not even that, just our right tackle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing we're gonna have to figure out.
And if he does switch to the left side, which they were doing a little bit in the game, we've done more at left tackle.
Yeah, so it still isn't the most confidence, as a whole, but that's why we ultimately put Max Crosby. And then for me, the last thing I said, the Raiders do well, I said they finish. And the reason I said that is
forced turnovers.
In all seriousness, even though the turnovers at times weren't the most, in terms of how do you put this, they didn't force them, whereas some of them kind of like they were just perfect timing, right place, right time situation. The thing I'll say is mentally I like their finish because they had plenty of opportunities where they had self-inflicted wounds and ultimately put themselves in bad position. And could have easily been like, you know what, man, let's just give it up. All right, dude, it's over. We messed this up. But to see them continue to come back and make plays down the stretch in regulation and in OT after they would have a bad play, to me, I just said that shows a team that finishes. Very similar to what we saw with Pittsburgh, right? Plenty of opportunity at halftime to say, well, you know what, man, we are playing absolutely terrible right now. Clearly, Buffalo is giving us some fits. But no. They came out and they figured it out. They said, okay, we got to do this. We can do this. Okay, you get a play on special teams. And before you know it, you win you a game. To me, I thought that Raiders team did that. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't pretty at times, but they did finish. I thought they finished a little bit better than Baltimore right there.
That's a really good point. I think that's in all phases, whether it's Gruden. He seemed kind of unfazed by everything that was going on. Derek Carr, same thing. He threw that pick in overtime. I don't know if that was completely his fault. It looked like he put a little bit too much on it, but it hit Willie Snead right in the hand, but came back and then had the game-winning touchdown. Yeah. Their kicker, icing it, closing it out, but then also, the defense to get those turnovers when the Ravens could have very well have just won the game. It looked like they should have won the game.
I mean, they almost should have won it in regulation when you think about it, right? Lamar has the nice run to get them in position. Like, it's things like that where they could have easily hung their heads and be like,
and then even Derek Carr in regulation, those final 35 seconds, those two passes to Brian Edwards, the kicker makes the field goal. So, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, man. So, all right, let's hop into
we kind of agreed on all those three in a way because Darren Waller. Whenever I'm talking about connection, that's you
impact,
you labeled it perfectly of just like, hey, we're going to him, and I felt the same way about Renfro.
It was like when we
third
had
down,
AB,
we're just going to Renfro.
When we had AB, you knew. Ball going to AB. We don't have to guess. We're not hiding this. You can't stop that guy. That was the energy I was getting from Vegas. And I like that when you have a player of Darren's caliber.
All right, I'm trying to look in the chat here.
All right, I got some on my end in terms of the things that the Vegas Raiders do.
I'm seeing a lot of Ahkello Witherspoon.
Oh, wow. Yo.
People are interested in him for the matchup.
We're going to talk. We'll have to talk. All right, let me see. But Vin Dizio says disguising plays is something that he thinks the Raiders do well. Vincent Price says the long bomb. Okay.
I'm seeing Matt Matizic, tight end use, pass rush, Gruden's look-alike to the Chucky doll.
Alex Taylor just hit me with Derek Carr puts eyeshadow on very well. He does, bro. I swear his thing is like, he got nice eyes, bro. I don't know if it's doctored or not, but they look really like inviting. Like, I feel like when he starts talking, like, I gotta look at him, all right, eyes. I don't know, man.
He has that one.
Not be mascara in that thing.
He has that one LeBron James type of meme. You know how LeBron with the Heat when he's like looking down, he's all pissed off. Derek Carr has one of those where he's like sitting on the bench. His eyes are like look like they're in the back of his head.
He looks like I don't know what it is, man. It just has it's just nice. Yeah. Which smolder. All right. No Quarter 32 says they are aggressive on possession downs also. And we saw that when they obviously won the game, man. Big time. They don't care about, third and short. They will play beyond the sticks. That's something that good old Todd Haley used to say here with the Steelers.
Christopher Levin, Big Al got Manscaped Sunday night. Our revolving door Villanueva.
Shout out to Manscaped. Use the promo code MOST. Get your 20% off along with free shipping worldwide. But yes, he did get Manscaped. It was high and tight by the time he left up out of that thing. Whew.
Let's go. UW says, this is a super chat, so we could skip this down the line if you see it pop up. He says, y'all just going to ignore Josh Jacobs.
No, the thing with Josh Jacobs is he's dealing with turf toe right now. We saw how ineffective he was Monday night because of that turf toe. And with turf toe, it isn't going to get better with this short amount of rest. And for me, when I think of Josh, like his ability to burst, his ability to, put a foot in the ground and get north and south, he doesn't have that right now with the turf toe. I mean, turf toe is serious. I mean, you saw that pretty much ended Deion Sanders' career. So when I think of that, that's the biggest reason why we're not doing a ton of Josh Jacobs talk, because we don't think health-wise he's going to be Josh Jacobs that we expect.
Well, there's that. I just find those other three things more important than Josh Jacobs at this point, because when you look and see that they have Kenyon Drake, I'm still taking Josh Jacobs over him. But for the Raiders offense, or just positive things that we can look at for the Raiders, I just don't know if that makes top three.
Yeah.
Like Carr, Waller connection, Renfro connection, Max Crosby, and then their ability to finish, show that resilience.
Yeah.
I don't think Josh Jacobs in and of himself makes that mix. That's just my thoughts, because you have a Kenyon Drake. I think he can replace Josh Jacobs. His production to 90%.
True.
So he's not on that Max Crosby level based off this week one where it's like, we have to really watch out for this dude. Even Darren Waller.
I like how he said he has the Max Crosby level. That's what we're calling this thing
just
now?
Based off week one right now. I mean,
his own level now.
Based off week one.
Shout out to Max Crosby.
But you get what I mean?
But no, 100%. I'm with you though. 100%, man.
Because right now they have Kenyon Drake. I don't know how much their offense changes, really.
Yeah.
I'm taking Josh Jacobs over him, but
I would too. But
I think Waller, Renfro, Max Crosby, and then I don't know
Carr,
I don't know if it's a made up thing that we just did of saying like their ability to close, but those three things are more important than Josh Jacobs right now for the Raiders. That's my take on it.
And when we talk about
it's not ignoring
close, it was more so just because they did show resiliency. Now we know that this is week to week. I mean, they could go out here on Sunday and lay an egg or quit, and then we'd be saying something totally different. But Pittsburgh could do the same thing. We just go off of what is currently happening.
We'd probably have better report cards for teams as the season goes on, because we'll have way more examples and a bigger sample size. But off this week one, this is what we're going with.
Let's keep this thing going real quick. So the three things that we had left off with was, what were the three things we thought the Raiders did well? So now let's talk about what three things we think the Raiders struggle with.
Staying healthy.
Boy, ain't that the truth? God, duh.
Spreading the ball around on offense. My third one, it kind of goes back to staying healthy, but I'm going to say their offensive line's pretty weak right now.
Yeah, offensive line.
Because staying healthy, that could go to Josh Jacobs. That could go to their offensive lineman they just lost for the year, Ngakoue.
Yep, and then Denzel Good, he's out. That was the right guard that went down.
Yeah, he was like a staple for them last year.
Richie Incognito is still out. He's dealing with the calf injury as well. So, yeah.
He's going to be out this game?
I don't know if he's going to. They haven't confirmed it, yes or no, just yet. But I know
that'd be big for them if they got him back. Yeah. But because as they're sitting right now,
it's not.
I think they have three unproven guys. Actually, four if you want to include Leatherwood. But he was their first round pick, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if he went the second round or not, but I know he was highly touted coming out.
Yeah.
I'm not
tripping. He was first round.
I think you're right. I think they reached for him because he was starting to fall out of the first round on a lot of the mocks, but they took him late first. So they have four unproven guys if you want to include Leatherwood along with their left tackle. That's their offensive line right now.
Yeah. It's not very impressive.
So yeah, offensive line, staying healthy in general with Josh Jacobs, them losing Ngakoue, losing that offensive lineman too. And then spreading it around because they are really focused on Darren Waller and Hunter Renfro with those targets. They finally did start getting the ball to Edwards later in the game and to Ruggs, but that was not a consistent theme throughout that Monday night game. And I think that could spell trouble for them whenever they face a defense like ours or someone that is able to take away those two options.
Yeah, no, I like that, man. That's a good assessment. And I did check Alex Leatherwood. He was 17th overall this year.
Yeah, they did reach. That's what I'm saying. Overall. I thought he was going to go late first or second.
Because he wasn't even like the highest rated guy of that group of those tackles and stuff. Yeah, all right. No, good calling out them. I like that. And good point. The injuries are definitely. So for me, man, to an extent, I said run defense, but I do know part of that was because of how Baltimore operates, right?
Yeah.
But seeing some of the holes that Tyson Williams was running through, knowing that Baltimore,
the one it was like on a third and one or a fourth and one they scored like a touchdown.
Yards, and knowing that Baltimore's O-line, it wasn't like they were playing well. That was my other part. So when I'm seeing that and seeing some of the holes he was able to run through, that I was like, man, I think this could be one where we probably have a good opportunity to run the ball. Now we know what we have to deal with in terms of up front, but it was at least promising to see a team having success run the ball that is banged up both up front and in the backfield. I mean, Tyson Williams was a practice squad guy going into this game, and you see what he was able to do out there. The next thing I said, man, that
he had some burst.
He did. I was surprised at low-key,
I really was, because I was shitting on him when they signed Bell.
Yeah. Then the other thing for me, man, I wasn't a fan of the playmaking at wide receiver. Even though, Ruggs has the speed, and I do like Renfro's game, I still think that Renfro, in terms of their wide receivers only, he's their most productive. But that productivity is limited when you talk about the guys.
He's a slot guy,
right? It's not a scary slot guy. It's a productive slot guy, but it's not like, man, what are we gonna do with this right here? That doesn't make me nervous. And shout out to Trey Norwood, man. He gave me a little more confidence now, bro. Trey Norwood, Cam Sutton. I'm over here like, that's it? Oh yeah, we all right today. So yeah, the playmaking at wide receiver really doesn't scare me. Darren Waller scares me, but we're not viewing him as we're viewing him as the ISO. You're just Darren Waller. You're not a part of this group. You're not a part of the tight. You're just Darren. Wherever you go, we're gonna treat you separately. Like that's how I thought of their group right there. And then I also thought, man, Derek Carr. We know he has limitations. Did he play well in that game? Yes, but he is one of those quarterbacks that will make you go nuts because sometimes he looks like how he looked on Monday night. But think about how he looked on Monday night.
That was more in the fourth quarter and overtime because I watched that back.
Like, dude.
I came in here, remember yesterday? I'm like, dude, Derek Carr looked pretty good. He impressed me. But I only really saw the fourth quarter and overtime and some of that second half. Those were all like his scoring drives. Whenever I rewatched it today, he was inaccurate as hell those first three quarters and was forcing the ball to Waller. He only ended up with 170 yards in those first three quarters.
Was it Chark? Oh my goodness, the safety for Baltimore. He dropped the pick. I mean, he had a couple where it was like guys had their hands on the football, and I'm just like, he's streaky though. And that's the thing with him.
That's what happened. He went crazy in the fourth quarter and overtime, man.
When he gets hot, he gets hot. But man, I still feel like he's limited. I don't think you can trust that enough to bank on it enough. Like, I don't like that.
It's going to be more of Derek Carr, what we've known up to this point, as opposed to what we saw in the second half, mainly the fourth quarter and overtime of yesterday's game.
Fourth quarter and overtime.
No, what day is it? It's Wednesday, 2 days ago's game.
Jeez, bro. I was over here like, is it Wednesday? Lord, don't get me the line. Oh, my days running together right now. But yeah, dude, I was not a fan of that, man. 3 things that we think the Steelers do well. Offensively, right? Or not offensively, just 3 things we think the Steelers do well. Excuse me. And also put that in the chat also, man. The 3 things y'all think the Steelers do well. And to end that Casey Hayward talk, Retro TV 1 also said that Hayward is trash now. It's just crazy. I'm just
2-1.
That's what I just saw pop up, man. But either way, let us know the 3 things y'all think the Steelers do well right now. So the 3 things that, because obviously you went first on that end, I'll go first on this end, man. I think that the 3 things Steelers do really well right now: rush the passer. I mean, without a doubt, they can create havoc in the backfield. I absolutely love what they're able to do up front. Coverage wise, also, man, I think that they do a good job with the coverage right now. Guys like Trey Norwood, right, stepping up. He was a pleasant surprise. James Pierre coming up with a big PBU late in the game. Cam Sutton, right, his playmaking ability. Obviously, those guys are in there. And then I thought the combat catches, and this kind of ties in 7 with that because the ball placement obviously is very key.
You had to get him in there, huh?
You know, I was gonna have your back, bro. Because I wanted to go combat catches only, but since you here, I felt that, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? 7 with the ball placement along with the combat catches. So now we're on the clear. We're good now. All right. But I just like how, man, these receivers, when the ball is up there, they go and get it. Chase Claypool, man, he was showing something different, you know, in terms of that type of playmaking ability. We've seen him be able to draw penalties before, and that is something that Ben Roethlisberger in his press conference today, when he was talking, he said that with Chase, he's like, the expectation for him, as communicated from us to him, is that it needs to either be a pass interference or a big time catch every single time. And I agree 100% with that because Chase is that type of mismatch, that type of nightmare out there. The same way we look at Darren Waller, That's how they need to be looking at Chase Claypool. Honestly, they're built very similar too. That's the crazy part. So I do like that. But the combat catch element, man, I think that's huge, man. You saw obviously Juju icing it multiple times. Deontay, let me toe tap that thing, man. Yeah, that stands out to me right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So for me, savvy QB, 7. That's number 1.
I like that lead off too.
Defensive line, outside linebackers, and I don't know if I want to put this for like a 2-part thing because I do want to shout out the secondary, but both stopping the run and I believe rushing the passer. I know it wasn't as evident with the Bills, but I do think we're going to have a really good job defending the run. Not only we did it decently last game in spurts. They caught us off guard here and there, but you could tell, man, like we were ferocious whenever they were running the ball. We were getting some stops, some big time tackles for loss, but then it's really evident with that 3 outside linebacker rotation that we got. Bro. I think if you don't have them in one of our strengths, you're probably an idiot.
I would have to concur with that 100%. Yes.
I think just overall our team's strong.
Yeah.
Like there's a vibe to this team, dude. I know I say it every year, but there's definitely a vibe going on right now.
Hey man, let's keep vibing then. I ain't gonna knock it. Vibe it all the way, man. Vibe until we can't vibe anymore.
The combination of the veteran presence, Cam Hayward, Joe Hayden, Big Ben, the young guys, the studs. Having dealt with what we did last year, there's that. Like there's we need to redeem this.
I like Happy Deke. First half, I didn't feel like I had Happy Deke with me, man. Happy Deke was gone. Second half, this is when this smiling Happy Deke. I like this Deke right here.
You're talking about during the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I was pissed off.
Yeah. It wasn't as gleeful. It wasn't as optimistic. I'm loving this version. Let's keep it going.
I was dropping a lot of F-bombs.
You were actually. I thought that I remembered that, but I wasn't sure if I all the way remembered that.
Oh yeah.
But that sound about right.
Well, what was funny too is because remember how pissed off I was about the lady standing right in front of me?
Yes, you were.
I was so heated.
Mad,
I'm like,
bro.
Sit down, please sit down. I can't even watch this game.
And the funny thing was, we said too, it was like, yeah, this is some first world problems because it was so many seats where I was like, yo, Deke, you can sit here, you could go in front, you could go back one row. Deke
I wasn't gonna do that though. That's kind of a man code violation, I guess.
Yeah.
You leave the people that you're with to go sit somewhere else. Like that's.
But you wouldn't have been leaving. You could have just sat on the other side.
Well, no, but here's what happened though. I started standing up.
You did.
That's what I said to my cousin-in-law. I'm like, hey, bro, I've become the person that I was ripping on because I was standing up after big plays and stuff.
Absolutely.
Me and Kev.
Absolutely, bro. It was beautiful to see, man. I was enjoying every bit of it, man.
It was funny. It was a good time.
I enjoyed every bit of it, bro.
Unfortunately, I wasn't the one that was about to get into a dust-up.
Hey, well, you know my theory, man. If one scrap, we all scrap.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, you know, right, wrong, and different. If we was going to go down with the ship, we was going to go down with the ship Titanic style, man. Yeah, it would have been bad. Oh, Mo, she ain't never come back to Buffalo. That's what they hit me with. But we're good. We didn't get kicked out. So we're welcome back. You're welcome back. You're good, man. See,
oh, yeah.
We're still good. We didn't get all the way kicked out. Yeah.
Definitely can throw the receivers in there, too.
Yeah.
What they did last week. I mean, that was one of our strengths. I'd even say, like, going into the season, our receiving core, we just got to clean up the drops, which we did in that game. Hopefully it keeps up because you saw Deontay and Ebron, the two biggest culprits last year, made really big catches.
Less is more.
And then you could throw Dawson in the mix, too, I guess. Okay, if you don't want to say whole offensive.
Can we just sprinkle a little bit of them?
Yeah.
Just tad.
Throw Dawson in there.
I'm about to say, don't hit me with the O-line.
So those are my 3 strengths.
I like it.
I think I said 5 or 6, but
either way, you was dropping some heat right there. We respect that, baby. We respect that. All right. Looking in the chat, Fish Lover says the pass rush. Also, Todd Sokowski says the pass rush. The Last Stylebender says the pass rush, along with coverage and special teams. Shout out to Danny Smith. You know we love Danny Smith. Bro, looking at that vid, though, now that I think about it, because obviously I was talking some Danny Smith in there. Dude, that was a funny little band that we had going on at the end of the vid where you're talking about like who we thought was like the MVPs of the game, who was shouting out.
Well, I do remember after that first play, I swear I did say, I swear this Danny Smith dude's overrated. I'm always seeing year in, year out, there's probably a punt return or some big play the other team special teams has. And I just see Danny Smith running up and down the sideline on TV. I'm like, who is this guy?
I was like, he was like, yo, fire this dude, man. What the heck, man? And then as soon as the end of the game, he hits the field goal. I love you, Danny. I love Danny. I'm like, Danny Smith. Danny Smith. But it just made me think of that because I just saw special teams, which made me think also about the likes. Man, make sure you're getting those things going so we can release to the people.
Where we at?
We're at 350 right now.
Oh, that's not going to cut it. We need 250 more.
Deke said 600 likes. We released the vlog to the people, not just the upper room, to the people. All right. So we're going to see.
We are at 590 now watching. So we are close to the 600.
We're flirting with it, man.
I really do think it's feasible. So you got to get this to 600 likes to get that video that we were just talking about dropped.
Is that tonight, simple, man? Yeah, to the people, not just the upper room. Because upper room, y'all already know. Upper room, y'all always are good. That's why I was laughing when y'all were like this. I'm like, no, upper room. Y'all are going to get a release regardless. But this is for the people. So everybody can be included in this thing. Deke said 600 on the likes. That's what he set the bar at. So that's what it has to be for us to release it to the people tonight. All right.
We should be able to get it to 400 within, I would say, like the next 5 minutes. Bro, maybe even 2 minutes.
Now. That's all we're saying, man.
So there's a slow climb right now. There's a slow climb right now. It's getting there.
It is, man. It is. Like I said, we want to make sure that everybody can get it, not just the up room. Up room, they already got perks like this. But everybody gets in the dance, man, early on time, right? Don't be late to the party. Got to do is hit the like button. Shout out to the 390 that's showing up in the building. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
When we get a field goal that's made, I think Boswell, though. I do think Boswell over Danny Smith.
Wow.
The punt block, yes, Danny Smith. But, Boswell's got a clutch. He's got to be clutch with that.
But who coaches up the holder? Who coaches up the snapper? Who coaches up the protection? As we saw, opening week in the NFL, games were won and lost because of special teams, man.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying. Somebody got to coach him up, baby.
At the end of the day, though.
For a fact, you know what Boz does? We told about it took forever for us to even acknowledge Boz because Boz's only job was, let me back up, go right here, do this, the ground, and kick it. Now he happens to start hitting him over 50, so we respect him a little bit more, but he's still a kicker. All right. You're not about to get up here and get all this praising of these kickers like that. We don't praise kickers on this show. Kickers are not real people.
I will, because if all that's right, the protection, the snap, and everything, Boswell could still miss it. Like, he's the X factor, I feel.
See, the X factor is Presley Harvin because he had the hole. We seen laces out, Dan. All right. If the laces aren't out, that's a miss. When Boz was missing his field goals, the holes were sometimes in question. That's what they said at times.
Really?
No, I just didn't think it sound good.
Oh, man, that could have been juicy.
It sound good right there.
Little side story for that 2018 season.
But either way, man, Danny Smith, bro. Shout out to Danny.
All right, anyone saying anything about, what were we talking about? Positives with the Steelers, correct?
Yeah, so those were the last three that we had on our positives, and we actually did read some of those in the positive section.
I think everyone agrees with us, right?
Yeah. I mean, how could you not? What did they say? Our robot, our logic is undeniable.
Yeah.
3 things the Steelers struggle with. Yes. Because we talked about the 3 things that we like about them, right? And obviously we've done the same exercise with the Raiders. So now we're focusing on the 3 things we think this team struggles with. So since I went first last time, I'll go first again for, to lay out these negatives. I'll go find out if there are any Cowboys or Indians out there. Okay. Here we go. The O-line. That's definitely something we struggle with. I like how they finished, but they still struggle with that largely, man. Next thing I said was running the ball. I like how they committed or stayed committed to it, but it still wasn't productive enough. And we need to see a lot more of that so that way we can be a little bit more balanced and just have a more effective attack. And then the last negative. Deke, I love you, right? You're my dog, all right? I see you got that look in your eye.
What's going on?
I'm about to have to say one of these negatives that I know might rub you the wrong way. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that with all due respect. Deke. The third thing that I think this team struggles with a little bit is kickoff coverage. That opening kick, bro, that gave me a heart attack, bro. I can't lie. I love Danny Smith. That's my dog.
I was getting concerned.
But, bro, the kickoff coverage right now, man, I need to see more of that, right? Because granted, they didn't have a lot of opportunities, but that first opportunity was very, very scary. I don't want to see any of that. With 7, I like 7's game because it was the minimized approach that I talked about. He wasn't put in a position where he needed to play hero ball. We took care of him early on. Now, granted, it wasn't the way I thought it would take. I thought it would be more so because of the running, but the way the defense was playing and complementing everything, it allowed him to stay true to Matt Canada's system, right? And really looked like he was buying into it. And for me, I think that's a good thing. I think that allows him to still be fresh in these fourth quarters and make those type of throws when we need them. I think that that's going to allow him later in the season also, when we get to week 16, 17, to still be able to do those type of things right there, man. So that's why I didn't throw your boy in. I like what I saw.
I was getting concerned.
He'll be okay right now, but I had to gas you up a little bit, man.
Well,
come on now.
I agree with the first two.
Yeah.
Protection and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Both have to do with the offensive line, in my opinion. But run the ball, I didn't think I would have it at this stage in the game, bro. Unfortunately. But, even going back to last year, Najee's performance, or just our running performance in week 1, we just haven't been able to run the ball.
I mean, at one point, I heard the name James Conner when we were, when people in the vicinity were just looking at the running performance in the first half. It's not a shot at James Conner, but we know that doesn't hold a positive connotation in Pittsburgh right now.
But we could see the difference, even though it was a James Conner-esque stat line at the end of the day that Najee Harris gave us. Mm-hmm. The second half, that's the difference, man.
Definitely is, man.
There's things that stats aren't going to tell you. I want Najee Harris over James Conner any day of the week. Yeah. And I think the stats are going to show that as the season goes on. But in games like that yesterday, James Conner's out in the second quarter maybe.
Yeah.
Or he's not having any impact.
Man, you thought he's hurt already?
Dude, not even that, though. But even if he's not out, he's not making that impact. Right. He's just not.
Very true.
It's tough to explain, but sometimes you don't need to explain it. You know what you see.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But then, and then protection. And these both have to do with the offensive line. Mm-hmm. But we saw how fast their defensive line was able to get after us and how quick Ben had to get the ball out, especially in the first half. Mm-hmm. The last thing, though, yours is probably better than mine because mine's like really nitpicking.
I like it. Go for it.
Can we intercept the pass?
Why not?
I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know what our stats were like last year. I felt like we got more picks than usual, but I feel like we could have had one or two in that Bills game that we missed out on.
Joe dropped one,
but there was one or two like thrown Minka. He was like, off
Minka
his
had
foot
one
or
early on. Not early on, but he had one off of a.
There were some tip passes
like a tip
too.
Pass, that he had a chance to go for. I feel like both teams did because Edmonds on the Bills had one that when we were backed up, he had one that he should have had.
I can't remember if it was.
It was
like a tight. It was like a tight coverage thing, and it went. Yeah, you're right. It went up in the air, and then Ben threw that one. It was the holding. I was hearing some things.
Trey,
I was hearing some stories, and I kind of like this story that Ben threw it on purpose to draw attention to the holding. I like that. I like that one. Yeah.
Deke, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You've come up with some stuff.
No, dude, I'm seeing that one online. I would not have made that one up, bro. Come on.
What?
I know I say some stuff. I would not have made that one up.
What? He threw the pick to draw attention to a hold.
Yeah. I didn't make that one up.
That was questionable as if. Oh, wow. All right.
That's what I've seen.
I'll go with it. Sure. Why not? It's one of them days. Why not? Yes. That takes vet savvy to a whole nother meaning, baby.
Yep.
Holy
That's why 7's on one of my positives.
It
that
makes
QB savvy that he brings.
You know what? It makes even more sense. He said, I'm gonna draw this holding penalty right here by throwing it right to this guy. Just wait on it. You're right, bro. I'm with it, bro. It works.
I will say this. As soon as he stood up, I think he got tackled as he was throwing or something. See? He pointed right to it.
See?
I will say that.
See?
I didn't make up that theory. I did not make up.
I pointed to it because it's a flag. We're good. Because he definitely ran over there at first because he was about to go make a tackle. And then when he saw he got tackled, then he started. I was like, bruh, okay.
So can we intercept the pass? That's one of my struggles.
Oh,
that's really nitpicking though, because I think our team's that solid. We were able to get a strip sack. We were able to make things happen, like the pump block.
Oh man,
we just got a really solid team. So for me to say, can we intercept the pass after week 1?
Yeah,
as a struggle, and for you to say kickoff coverage,
we're good.
We have it pretty good here.
And they're saying the announcer was actually the one who said it, and they're like laughing at it even more now. This is crazy, bro.
Oh, he said it.
Yes.
Who was it?
I don't even know.
He's probably an NFL guy. He knows what he's talking about. Was it a former quarterback?
He's doing it on purpose. Yeah, hey, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we didn't hear the announcers.
I have wow. I've never heard this. I'm with it, bro. All right.
I vibe with it.
Hey, maybe he was on Mars when he dropped that. Maybe. It's like that sometimes, but I'm not knocking it. Hey, look, man, I need these type of laughs. I'm with it, bro.
I told you,
man.
I'm not the one that came up with the take. Obviously, the announcer did.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna say it, you could talk me into it.
I'm not gonna refute it. I'm not gonna go against that. No. It sounds pretty good to me. Yeah.